Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing, amazing.
Can you hear me? You sound
I
kind
can
of
hear you.
low.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, just sound kind of low. I don't know if it's my end or yours.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay, yeah, I had to turn up the volume.
Well, thank you for taking the time out to talk to me today. Appreciate it.
Oh no, thank you. I had to kind of in the middle of ripping and running, but I always got time.
So I hear you're a really humble guy, so I'm really looking forward to picking your brain now.
Who told you that they lied? I'm turned up today.
Everybody can't be lying.
Yeah.
So first off, we welcome you to the show. My name is Chivonne SayWhat, and this is Conversations with Say What.
Okay,
Today,
say what?
today
Say
I have
what?
a special guest. Yeah, that's how they say it. Say what? I have a special guest today that I'm really looking forward to talking to. So without further ado, I want to welcome Mr. Hanky to the show.
What's that? I'm happy to be here.
So I know you have an event you're getting ready for tonight.
Right?
So I'm not going to hold you up too long.
No,
But
that's later on tonight.
But to get started, can you tell the viewers who you are, where you're from, how you got started in music?
I'm a producer, songwriter here from Atlanta, Georgia. Um, Produced a lot of your favorite records and wrote a lot of them too as well. But I got started in the music business itself as a DJ a long time ago while I was at Southern University. It's pretty cool. And when I came back home to Atlanta, a lot of my friends were, up and coming rappers such as Yin Yang Twins, Gucci Man, and everything kind of took off from there.
Nice. So you've got to work with, like you said, Yin Yang Twins, Gucci Man. You've also worked with T.I., Soldier Boy, 2 Chainz, Colonel Loud, just to name a few. Out of all of the artists that you've worked with, who is your favorite?
Man, you know,
Well, who is the easiest to work with?
I mean, they all equally difficult to deal with. I'm joking with. Nah, they all were in their own way, unique. It's not. I don't have. I've been blessed. I don't have like horror stories to tell about, recording situations. Especially now, a lot of times, a lot of this stuff is done through email and through technology because everybody's traveling and stuff. So, as of late, you're not even really in the studio with these people a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of guided things through email or, FaceTime or talking through an A&R or something like that. But yeah, they all been pretty cool, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. It's been strictly, business, keep it moving. They come for me a hit, I deliver, everybody's happy.
So as a producer, when you're creating beats for other artists, if you're not able to be around them while you're creating or have that physical energy or that connection, does that make it more difficult for you to do what you got to do for them specifically, or is it still just?
Not at all, man. I'll be honest, not at all, because I've studied so much from me being a DJ back in the day. I'm pretty much in tune to what's kind of going on. And so once I have a conversation on what they're looking for, we do a FaceTime, what they're looking for. I ask very specific questions and I just, deliver from that point, from that aspect. And we just kind of make it work. We go back and forth. If we can get in the studio, that's cool. But if not, I know how to make it work. It's too much technology through Zoom and just, other people to kind of relay messages. So yeah, it's easy. I mean, it's easy for me. I feel like I'm on cruise control with it now.
Okay. So in 2018, you produced Best Life.
Right.
For Lil Duval.
I sure did.
Did you expect that song to be that huge?
Initially, no, because like I said, we never were. When we met up, we weren't really. It wasn't even for a song for him. It was for a song for someone else. He was just gonna do the intro on it, and yeah. So I didn't go into that, in that session, even thinking about doing a song for him at the moment. But while we were there, he did the skit that he was doing, Smile Bitch, and it was cool, and I was like, hey man, you need to do a song with that, and that was it. And it was just really that simple, casual conversation. It wasn't no crazy, like I see a lot of people, they do like these focus groups and A&R meetings and all that craziness. We didn't do any of that. We just, did us, and it worked out.
Pure chemistry. That's dope.
Yeah. It was very organic, so by the time, once it came out, once we got to the end of it, because initially, even when we did it, it was still more of just like a commercial break. You know what I'm saying? There was no verses on it. Snoop hadn't got on it. He literally did Smile Bitch for 4 minutes. You know what I'm saying? There was no living my best life or nothing on it. It was just Smile Bitch for 4 minutes straight. And so I took the song, put it in some type of song format. We sent it to Snoop. Snoop added his flavor to it. It was like, dang, this kind of feeling like something. Then Bob Greasy sent his verse, and Lil Duval added the final touch with the Living My Best Life part. And that was it.
Yeah. People still singing that song to this day.
To this day.
That's dope. So when you did Twerkulator for the City Girls,
mm-hmm.
Which came first, the title of the song or the beat?
The beat was first. My boy Slab, he came to me one day. He hit me up. He was like, yo, I might have gone with the City Girls, but I got an idea for a song. And so luckily I had the beat already ready. And I just sent it to him and said, let's see if that fits. And we fine-tuned it, blah, 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 sent it to the girls. And they laid it down. And honestly, when we did the song, it wasn't going to come out because of the sample issue. And some kind of way it got out to the streets, and the people loved it, So it just went crazy, like literally, like organically, virally. Because people ask me all the time, like, what was y'all marketing strategy? It really wasn't one. It just kind of happened, man. Like really organic, not an email blast, none of that. It just took off.
So that sample, for those that don't know, that was a really popular song, like back in the day.
It's actually 2 samples in the actual.
Okay. So I know
you got the vocal sample with "It's Time for the Percolator," mm-hmm. And then you have "Planet Rock."
Yes, you're right. Africa Bambaataa. Nice, mm-hmm. Nice. Do you percolate?
No, I don't do perks. I don't do perks.
So,
what about you? Do you percolate?
I'm from Baltimore. Of course I do.
Oh, see, percolate up there means something totally different down here.
That was just a dance. At least I was a kid.
Yeah, I've never actually seen the dance percolator.
Okay.
But familiar with that people do take Percocets. They call it percolating. Man.
See, I learned something new today.
Yeah, it's a whole nother thing.
Wow. Okay. Culture difference. Or should I say age difference?
It's not really, I don't know. It ain't really age difference. It's just, I don't know. It's like, when I heard Percolator, actually another artist down here has a song called Percolator where he used the same sample for "It's Time for the Percolator." Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy. Like, there was a bit of a small controversy for like a hot second about it, but our song is talking about dancing and theirs is talking about percolating.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how does that work with the sampling? Like, do you have to get it cleared prior to, or you just put it out and wait for something to happen, or?
No, it would definitely behoove you to get it cleared before you put it out to see if something happens, because 9 times out of 10, something will happen. And what ends up happening is when you don't get it cleared and say, oh, let's go put it out to see what it does. Then at that point, you're at the mercy of whoever owns the masters. You know what I mean? You're definitely at the mercy of them. And they can ask for the entire world at that point. And there's nothing you can do about it. You know, it's almost like, you know, breaking into a house and staying in there, putting all your furniture in there without actually buying the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then at that point when the actual owner comes, you know, you're trying to be, you know, you're trying to negotiate and they're like, no, you got to go. It's the same, you know, but it's always great to do that at first, beforehand. And basically the issue with Percolator was, Twerkulator, the people who own the rights to African Bambaataa, Planet Rock, told us initially no, that it won't happen. So it wasn't planning to come out in some kind of way through computer error. The whole album got leaked some kind of way.
Yeah.
It was the best mistake ever happened.
So who's responsible for getting it cleared, the producer or the artist?
The artist. The artist and the label.
Okay.
Because once I do a song for the artist, that is then the artist and the labels, you know, that's their song at that point. So I'm more of a partner in it, but it's their artist, because at the end of the day, when an artist goes out, it goes on tour and they go get $200,000, $300,000 a show or $1 million a show, whatever they're getting. Producers don't get any of that.
So, okay. But producers get some kind of royalties from the BDS and all of the spins and stuff, though, right?
Yeah, but it's a huge disparity between that money and show money.
Okay.
You know, it's a huge disparity between that. Like I said, is whereas you may make $1 million, you might make a couple of million off of your publishing, radio spins, and all that. Whereas the artist and the label will go on to make that, they will make that money. Plus, they'll go on and make tour money, merchandising, sponsorships, you name it. They get the whole thing off of that and that alone. And that's cool. So that's why most of the responsibility lies on the label and the artist. So
if somebody like me, if I was an indie artist and I came to record with you, who owns the master?
Well, it's like your label, it still works the same way. Your label, because you have to pay me for my service, and that will still be under your label as the artist. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're not signed major or anything like that. But that's solely your record.
Okay.
I don't do anything. A lot of people lease production. I don't lease production at all. I don't do that. Once you come, with me, you actually own the track. That's yours. Nobody else can have it unless you say so. Under the circumstances, unless you say that. So, but that's basically how it works. You would be then the label, even though you're an independent artist. A lot of people don't realize when you're independent, and they say, "Oh, I own all my masters." They don't realize, like, at that point, everything is solely upon you. It's your responsibility, from the marketing, from everything. So, yeah.
Got it. Okay. So can you tell us about your current song with Erica Banks, Nutty Twerk?
Yes, Nutty Twerk is actually my single.
Okay.
Featuring Eric and my boy Ricky Coins. It's just a fun record, man, for the summertime, for the twerkers, and just to have people have fun. I didn't want to do anything too serious as my first single, kind of putting it out, kind of testing the waters. But I wanted to have something fun that everybody could really relate to. And that's what it's doing. It's growing daily, weekly. I'm hosting a lot of parties. Matter of fact, like I said, I got 11:45 here in Atlanta tonight. I also have Onyx. I'm doing Magic City. I'm doing a little tour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I get a couple bars from your song?
Oh, man.
I put you on the spot, huh?
Yeah, you did. I wasn't even in that mindset. Yeah, man. So I don't know. The song is kind of vulgar too, so I don't know. I'm not in that mood right now, but
it's all good. It's all good.
It's in the middle of the daytime. I usually don't speak like that till after 6. But yeah, it's basically saying, bitch done made me mess my pants. Look what you done made me do. So the song's called Nutty Twerk, and it's basically about how, like, when a woman is twerking on a man, he might mess his pants up. He might spill his drink on his pants. And some guys, mess up themselves a little bit more because they get a little bit excited. But it's a real thing. So it's kind of just making fun in real life, not at anybody. Because I've been in the club before where I'm in the club just chilling there. One of my homegirls with the big old asses just coming. Hey, they're happy to see you, and they just throw their ass and your drinks just fly everywhere. He's like, damn, look what you done made. So it's kind of it's a fun, lighthearted, ode to the culture.
Got you. Will there be any visuals for it?
Yes, there's a video out on YouTube now. It's on the Mr Hanky called Nutty Twerk. And we're in the process of toning it down some because I didn't realize it was as lit as it was until I was getting ready to send it in the MTV and BET. There's like, no, we can't play that. So I went on it's fun. It's not disrespectful at all, but it's fun. So in this politically correct world, ass smacking of women is frowned upon even if women are doing it to women. So yeah, they had to change the stuff around. She's kicking the kick out. She's like, wow.
So when you're producing, do you prefer to do hip hop or R&B?
Honestly, whoever got the check, I can do all genres and all that. I'm not, I hear people ask me all the time, what makes you want to work with a person? It's strictly business. Because the days of, developing artists and believing in this person and that person, that died like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
When everything became about internet numbers and all this stuff. So all of that died, So it's really about who has the business acumen. I'm gonna start talking like T.I. Whoever has the business acumen to further procure the success of said project that we are collaborating on.
You're funny.
There's financial stability and promoting said creative venture is indubitably essential and critical to its survival in the marketplace.
You're right. So when it comes to the check, I know you work with some indie artists, and all indie artists, they don't have the budget that, a Lil Duval or a Luke Nasty would have. So word on the street is sometimes you are nicer than you should be.
Yeah, that's over with though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what I've learned is, and I try to tell everybody this, every time you try to show love or try to help out, it bites you in the ass because the people it's like they see Twerkulator, they see all these records and all this other stuff, and they don't understand the success of those records. That's a combination of a lot of different pieces working together. I can never say and take full credit of the success for Twerkulator or any other record I've done, because I realize it takes a lot of pieces, a lot of things to align right for everybody at QC, from coach to P to Brander, the whole A&R staff, like the marketing, the legal, like it's so many moving pieces for success to happen. So in that space, these people, these independent artists, they see that and they think, I've heard people say, if I just get a beat from you, will I blow up? It'll definitely help in that, but there's a lot of other things you have to do. You need a team. Mm-hmm. And I think they think when they come to me, especially those that don't have it, they're looking for this miracle to happen. And I'll be the first to tell them, like, no, I just do the music. I can help guide you, but ultimately you need to have your own machine. And I've learned to just stick to my price, stick to it. And those of us who are meant to work together, we will. But if not, it's cool.
So would you say that kind of mentality is what has probably been holding a lot of these artists back? Like they just feel like they're just going to get this overnight success. They just work with somebody like you. And then...
Right. And that's what they think. Like I had a young lady recently who didn't have anything, but I was like trying to be the nice guy about it and everything. And she got mad at me. First of all, she can't sing. Let's be 100% honest. She couldn't sing. And so I even told her, I was like, yo, I'm very honest in this thing. I have no problem telling people, like, hey, man, this might not be your record, or this might not be what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And they'll tell you that. A lot of times they can't handle that. And a lot of it's funny, but it's real. So, they get mad, they unfollow you and all this stuff. It's funny to me.
Right.
But yeah,
it
doesn't bother me none. It's funny. I think I get a kick out of it. Actually, it's funny. But I think more than anything, everybody wants to skip steps. Like they see what you do and it looks great. It looks luxurious. It looks easy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's a gift and a curse. To now they're expecting, I have another artist, he tells me all the time, man, you got to activate me. You got to activate me. It's like, but you're going to be waiting a long, what are you, a Jerry curl? I don't know what that is. I don't have an app on my, people think that we have an app on our phone or on our computer that we can type in your Instagram name and your YouTube and your career goes. No, we can help in that. We could be a very key component, but you still you can't skip any steps.
Right. So how important is a beat to a song?
It's everything. You can't paint a picture without a canvas. So, and I tell artists that all the time, we've all been out in places where they play instrumentals all day and nobody got tired. You can't sit up here and just play acapellas all day.
Right.
So it's literally the canvas to the picture. I look at it as like we're painting pictures to where then the artist comes in, and they put the tree in and they put the little dog but I put the sky, the grass, the clouds, I give you the foundation for you to create. And it's so extremely important to know what your goal is in producing. It's not enough for a beat. You gotta be so methodical to the point to where the speed of the beat, the feel of it, the way the drums going, like all of that takes. It's a science to make it relevant, to keep the people's attention for the whole 3 minutes of the song. That's our goal.
Mm. So what do you think is the biggest misconception people have as a producer's role?
The biggest misconception is they think, especially indie artists, and I only get this with indie artists, of course, the ones that are struggling, they think that we did a beat together, I did a song for you, and now I'm your responsibility. Perfect example, I host parties and stuff all the time. And if I post it, I've had artists who I've done songs for they hosted me to host a Twerkulator party. And then they come to the party like, hey man, tell them to play my song. No, that's not what it is. If you want your shit played, you go get it played. It's not about you today. Right. And they don't understand they don't understand that like you don't fit in every equation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just not your time. That's not your space right now. You have to create that space for yourself. And if it's not about you that night, it's just not about you. So that's one of the biggest things. And I can do a lot for artists, but a lot of times they don't have the budget or they don't have the understanding to understand that this thing takes time, that you can't just go from here to here without the proper steps. You got to have a foundation.
So do producer deals still exist?
What you mean, producer deals?
Yeah.
You mean like a record deal for a producer?
Yeah, with an artist.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a couple of them myself on the table right now, so I'm getting ready to drop another song as well, just to keep feeding the fan base. But yeah, it definitely exists, and it's not as hard as you think it is. It's just more importantly, again, understanding how that works for producers, because ironically, it's so crazy. Like producers are literally the most powerful producers and songwriters and engineers. We're literally the most key people to this thing, but we're the most least respected when it comes to the business side of it. Like we literally are like, when they're trying to get the record together, they're blowing your phone up. Mm-hmm. I mean, they need this change, they need that change. You shoot it to them, no problem, get it done. And then it takes you 8 months to get your check. Mm-hmm. Or my favorite one is when the artist goes to Breakfast Club, they thank their mama, they thank their daddy, they thank the stylist, the person who got their jewelry. And then the producer, the person who put the whole thing together, we over there like, hey man, can you just mention me on IG? And they act like it's an act of Congress. It's the funniest shit ever. But that's just a part of it. And I get it. I get a lot of times. I mean, I don't know if things went bad for them with them shouting out producers and stuff, but it's a real thing. It's a real problem at times. You know, like I've been involved with several songs to where I wrote everything, did the whole thing. They don't even tell you. Most of the time, they don't even tell us when the video shoot is. You know what I'm saying? We just happen to look online and they shouldn't. Oh, okay. And don't ask to be in the video. Oh, don't even ask for your elbow to be in the video. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah. So, but the cool thing about it is they always got to come back. And you just, your price steadily increases. And then I love when they ask, damn, what happened? It's just like they're only concerned about the artist, their brand growing and them getting endorsements and all this other stuff. Right. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Now, there's different kinds of producers. There are producers that actually make beats. And then there are producers that do other stuff, like Diddy. What is like the difference? I mean, like what is the difference? Like other than just the making beats, what is the difference?
So, like, Diddy is one thing, and that's cool because he has the vision for a lot of stuff. So he has the vision to make a lot of stuff happen. That's more of executive production, more of a visionary, more of an A&R role.
Okay.
And to some people, that's considered production. Me personally, I do all my own stunts. I make all my own beats. I don't have 30 people signed under me, and I'm just taking the credit. There's a lot of that going on. I didn't know that existed till about like 10 years ago. I was like, oh, I'll be in LA or somebody be like, yeah, I actually did a song. I was like, what you mean you actually did it? Well, I did the beat and bro put his name on it and made the play, made it happen. I was like, oh, okay. So there's different levels to it. And I don't hate on nobody for how they do it stuff, but that just don't work for me. And what I've noticed is even in those situations, the people who are doing all the work eventually get tired of that. Okay. Eventually they like, okay, I see you on the Breakfast Club. I see you doing all these interviews and you're not mentioning my name. I'm out, so I've always done my own stunts, but there are those people who are just more of a playmaker than the actual producer.
Mm. Now, when it comes to placements.
Mm-hmm. You ask a good questions too. I want to let you know this.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
I love what I do. When it comes to placements, how would a producer go about getting placements, not with just artists, but like in movies, commercials, video games?
The main thing is, man, just keep putting out music, because there's so many movies being produced now, okay? And they need music for their movies, for their soundtracks and all this other stuff. And really, you just submit it. You find a music director or somebody like that, whoever's over the music for the movie, even if it's a small film. And, don't be so clout chasers. A lot of people like to just, oh, this person is that. Okay, I'm going to go deal with this person. There's a lot of hidden gems in these smaller movies, these smaller films and all this other stuff. It definitely is. So I think once you do that side of it, it all makes sense. And once you get into the system, once you get one with a licensing company, they keep coming to you for more music. Hey, we got this commercial coming up. Hey, we got this and that. Do you have anything else that we can license? They will gladly pay you, the indie artist, the unknown indie artist, to help you than they would dealing with a major artist, because you got to go through the label. They got to pay all kind of money, all kind of clearances. It's just a whole nother headache that might slow up their actual production for their movie and affect their bottom line.
Mm.
So music directors, all of that. Just get at them.
And the same thing with trying to get placement with artists. They could build the indie artists instead of trying to clout chase with somebody that's already known too, right?
Exactly. It's just like, how do you get the prettiest girl in the room? You talk to the ugliest girl in the room. You go find her. Everybody, oh, he's so nice. He's over the mess. Oh my, I just had this guy treat me like that. That's the
That's a great analogy.
It works every time. It's the oldest trick in the book.
The producers, they have to have PROs just like a regular artist or songwriter too, correct?
Yeah, we're protected because we're actually considered writers as well.
Okay.
Because songs are divided into half. Whoever writes the lyrics and whoever writes the music, composes the music. That will be us. So we get the same rights as ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, Sound Exchange, SoundCloud, all that. We get all that.
Have you ever had an artist try to pull a fast one on you?
Oh yeah, all the time, all the time. I've had artists, on some very big songs, and their representation was like, "Hey man, let's just divide the publishing equally." I said, "Well, only way I would do that if we divide the show money equally, if we divide the interviews and the press equally, if we divide everything else affiliated with this, we divide it equally, not just the publishing."
Yeah. Yeah, I hear this business is very lethal.
Yeah, you gotta be stand on it. Like, don't go for all that company, we are the world shit, because these artists, that's not what it is. They're here today, gone tomorrow. And they, once things go bad for them, they don't care about anybody. It becomes survival of the fittest at that point.
Yeah.
They go into survival mode, and at that point, because you got to keep in mind, especially if they've been here and experienced some level of success, they would do anything in their world not to come back down here. Because once they come back down here, they know this is done. They're over with.
Right. The high is over.
It's done. The thrill is gone.
Crazy.
The one night stand is over.
So, in all the years you've been doing music, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned?
Yeah, that's the biggest lesson, man. Because like when I first started, I was working with a label and stuff, and I was the ultimate company man. I was, for the team, doing this for the team and doing that for the team, and it was cool. But I realized, like, it's almost like coming to practice every day. You play basketball, and you playing defense, and you passing the ball, but they ain't passing the ball back around to you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody shooting their shot when they can. So I was like, okay, well, I ain't finna keep passing the motherfucker around too long. I'm finna start shooting my own shots. And that's the biggest thing I learned, to, like, not be so humble all the time, because people really take that for granted. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So once I turned it up, once I started doing what everybody else was doing, I noticed a change. It's like, but
yeah,
you can't worry about that. You got to do what's best for you, because I guarantee you everybody else is doing the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to producing, it's been known that certain frequencies channel different emotions.
Right.
So when you're creating your beats, do you look for specific sounds to try to create energy?
Yeah, but not necessarily to an actual frequency. I'm more of like the vibe. Like, that's why I go out to clubs and stuff, so I can see because people might be on different frequencies. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to get them what they want. The energy might be real dark in the clubs or in the streets. Like when I did Walk Around the Club, Fuck Everybody. It was a real. You telling on yourself.
I love that.
Now I'm messing with you, but yeah, it's you just got to kind of match people's energy. Meet them where they at, and and just give them what they want. I try to give the best analogy. It's almost like if somebody says, I feel like eating chicken wings. They've been craving chicken wings all day, and you show up with a ham or a turkey. Yeah, I'm gonna eat, but that ain't what I really wanted. So I've learned to give people what they want, meet them where they at.
Now, up and coming producers, what advice would you have to give to them when it comes to approaching people?
You just got to do it, man. Like, truth of the matter is, you might come across a Dirk, City Girls, or any one of these artists, and no matter how big they are, the truth of the matter is, a lot of times they don't even know what they want until they hear it. You feel me? So don't get caught up thinking like, hey man, they might not like this and that, the third. They might not like me because I ain't this and that, third. They're not even thinking about that. They just know when they press play on that thing, it got to move them. That beat got to move them. That song got to move them in the first 5 to 7 seconds. Otherwise, they going on to the next one. So don't be afraid to shoot your shot, man. You just don't know. Like when I did Percolator, I didn't know that they was actually go like it or record it. I didn't know. I just, shot it out there and through the proper channels, and that was it.
So can you explain something? As producers, it's something about you guys have different folders, like you have A folder, a B folder, so with different beats for different types of people or something along those lines.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay. But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but that's goofy because it's like the only difference between an A-list artist and an independent artist is a hit record.
Mm.
So if you were smart, you would really guide this stuff. Yeah, I would give when I did California with Colonel Loud was an independent artist that nobody knew of. You see what I'm saying? So it meant more to have that level of success. The only reason we didn't go number one on the charts during that time because Black Beatles and Bad and Bougie was the 2 hottest songs in the world.
Hmm.
And they was fighting for number 1 and 2. They were fluctuating for number 2. But that whole time they was doing that, we was a strong number 3 right up under them. And for an independent artist, that's a great day at the office. Yeah. That's a huge success story. That means out of all the songs that was out during that time, there was only 2 songs that was better than our song. And they were smash hits with superstars.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The biggest person on California was what? Dolph at the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was the biggest one. And then when Tip came in later on, but other than that, everybody was still playing the Dolph version. So I don't have an A, B, C. That shit's corny. Like all my shit's hits. Even a Lil Duval record. I mean, I had the beat for years. I did the beat in 2016. You know what I'm saying? I just played something for him. And he got it. And the good thing about it, he was coachable and he followed my lead on a lot of stuff, and that's why it worked.
You find yourself having to coach a lot of artists?
Yeah, I think that's the fun part of it. Anybody can make a beat, but can you make a hit record? That's totally different.
Yeah.
You get I hear great beats all the time, but people being nodding their head like this for 3 hours. They don't smoke 12 pounds of weed, ate all the food in the world, and still don't have nothing but a half of a verse at the end of a session. That's crazy. They don't have no direction. So I come in and help put the whole record together, the whole play together. Even tell them how to market what they're doing based on the type of record that it is. All of that is so important.
Do you think that's what sets you apart from a lot of other producers?
It definitely does. Like I said, I don't really have a machine. It's just me and me and the people that I know, my network. So when I do a song, if it's a street artist, depending on the vibe of the record, I know exactly what DJs to take it to. I know exactly what blogs they should go talk to. I know where they should have their listening party in each city where they should go to. Just how it should be rolled out, what time of year it should be coming out, what kind of, if they're looking for a feature, what feature will work on it, and explain to them why this feature would make sense. You know what I'm saying? Nobody understood when we did California with Dolph. You understand, Dolph wasn't Dolph at that time. He was on the way. He had just did Preach. Him and Zaytoven, they had just done Preaching. It was a real strong street anthem. Yeah. And once I heard him on it, I knew enough people knew about him, and it sounded so different, they immediately caught on to it.
And that song was definitely a hit. Definitely. So I have a quick game I'm going to play with you real quick, and then I'm going to ask you a few more questions so you can get out of here.
Okay.
So this game is called the Producer's Challenge. I'm going to ask you 3 multiple choice questions just to test your knowledge.
Okay.
Okay, question number 1. In 1989, what producer released Back on the Block? Was it A, David Bowie? Huh?
Quincy Jones.
I know, you gotta give me a chance.
Oh, this is about
Yes, Quincy Jones. Question number 2. What 90s song was sampled in Chris Brown's Undecided? Was it A, I Love Your Smile, B, Creep, or C, I Wanna Be Down?
I would say A.
Good answer. Good answer.
You gotta. This is too easy.
For you, right?
Right.
Okay, question number 3. Which artist producer is producing Kanye's Donda 2? Is it A, Havoc, B, Timbaland, or C, Future?
Come on, man. Everybody know the wizard doing that, man. Big Pluto. Come on, man. I hope it comes out well, man. Kanye's all over the place.
I gotta make these questions harder.
Yeah, Kanye, they got to take us out the group chat right now. It's crazy right now.
Some tea going on?
Nah, you know, it's every other day with him and Kim. It's a whole nother. I feel like we're caught in the middle of a group chat.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But hey, people love it, right?
They love it.
So, a few more questions and I'm gonna let you get out of here. If somebody wanted to work with Mr. Hanky, how can they approach you, or how should they approach you?
I mean, basically, they could just hit me up and, you know, let me know what they're trying to do. You know, the type of artist it is, their budget, and their availability, and we'll go from there. A lot of times, I do like to listen to the artist to see what we get involved with, to see what the goals are, and be realistic about it. Because I've had a lot of artists come to me as if they've already achieved certain things because of social media numbers or whatnot. And I had to explain to them, you know, like, you know, that's not necessarily a real goal. It's cool. It's a great goal. It looks great. But I try to explain to them, you know, real success, sustainable success, longevity, to where, you know, a lot of artists I've worked with who have millions of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, and they get booked for a show and 100 people don't even come out. You know, so as long as they're willing to, you know, really do that, those few things, and mainly just the budget, and it's not necessarily a money thing. I know at the end of the day, if you're not investing in yourself, why should I?
Makes sense.
Exactly. If you don't take yourself serious enough to cut a check to invest in what I'm bringing to the table after you've approached me, and you know, it's cool. I know how serious you're taking this. So those are the main things, though. It's really not that hard. That's kind of loud. It's not that hard.
You know, you go by Mr. Hanky.
Yes.
How did you come up with that name?
It was given to me because I'm the shit. I got a name in college.
Why did I know?
Yeah, it was given. They started calling me that in college, based off the South Park cartoon. I used to talk a lot of shit too, you know, fresh out of Atlanta, going to Baton Rouge. I was feeling myself. So, yeah, Mr. Hanky was a popular cartoon character on South Park. They started calling me that. I ran with it.
I like it.
So it doesn't mean anything freaky, contrary to popular belief. I get that a lot too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what you said makes more sense. And your track record definitely proves it.
Man, appreciate that.
So we know that you are promoting Nutty Twerk.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other projects that you have working on right now?
Yeah, I'm going to drop another single soon. Other artists I've been working with for a minute, Kissy Lee, she's dropping another project. I'm working with another artist, young lady named Pharaoh. Her Instagram is the Pharaoh, TheFerwo. She's dope, amazing. I'm really into like, and I got another couple of records coming out with some major artists, but I'm more, just building my own type situation, my own artist right now. Because if you look at all the legends from Jermaine Dupri to Timbaland, Collar Parts, all of them, they all kind of built their own artists. Diddy, he put out Biggie, Mary J. Blige. He built his thing through his own artists. Even Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre ain't knocking down the doors. He put out Snoop, right. Eminem, 50. That's what I'm on right now.
Okay. So you are looking for talent.
Yes, but not anybody who's looking for me to do everything from scratch. Please. People be followers and no songs out, no covers or nothing. They be like, man, what can we do? I'm like, dog, what are you doing?
Right.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Right. You might as well get all the money too, right?
I mean, if I got to do it, Jesus,
So in this business, what keeps you motivated?
This is gonna sound funny, but it's weird. Like I still get a kick out of it. To where like I might have an idea for a song and we lay the song down and then it comes out. It's a crazy feeling that never gets old. So when like you will sit in your car or at home and you humming something in your head and you put it on the computer, then you go record it and then you get an artist on it and then it blows up everywhere. And you go somewhere to a basketball game or a football game and everybody's saying it word for word. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing ever. So I think that part of it and just knowing that what you're doing is really affecting people in a great way, it's a huge incentive, to keep going.
Do you have any influences that you look to when you're creating?
This is gonna sound funny, but it's true. I really just rely on women. Mm-hmm. The opinions of women. Because women, like if you're not making your music to appeal to women, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because even if it's some street stuff, like women like trap music too, but if they don't like it, it don't matter. Your homeboys gonna lie to you. Dudes gonna lie to you because we don't want to be confrontational and we don't want to seem like a hater.
Right.
But women will tell you, even if that's your girl, y'all just jumped out of bed together, she gonna be like, hey. Been playing. I ain't feeling that. That ain't it.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna say, not only y'all gonna say I don't like it, y'all gonna say, I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it.
Yeah.
Whether we ask y'all or not, y'all gonna be like, see, it just come off like you doing this and that third, and it's wild. Well, dude gonna be like, I lie to my homeboys all the time. They have no business being around nobody's studio, and I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, bro. Yeah, do your thing.
No.
If I say something, especially in my position now, I'm a hater. Or it's the oh yeah, you doing this and that third. Yeah, of course you ain't gonna like my stuff. So I don't really have time to deal with that,
Are there any artists that you haven't worked with that you would like to?
Yeah, I want to work with Lil Durk, and I'm actually in the process of getting that together right now. So, Lil Durk, Lil Baby, all those guys, I'm in the process of getting some stuff to them right now. So you'll be hearing some Lil Durk, Lil Baby, produced by Mr. Hanky soon enough.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward.
So can you tell everybody where they can go to hear your music, follow you, stay tuned with everything Mr. Hanky?
Yeah, a lot of my music is up on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/a Mr. Hanky Beat, AMRHANKYBEAT. And on my Instagram, on a link on there is at a Mr. Hanky Beat, AMRHANKYBEAT. Yeah, but all my stuff is on those two platforms. And you can just Google produced by Mr. Hanky. So like 20 pages of stuff.
Any quick shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to you for having me on this thing, and shout out to everybody pursuing their dreams and keeping stuff going. And the main thing I leave everybody with, man, is just be honest with yourself, and it'll take you a lot further. You know, if you know a lot of stuff you need to correct, go ahead and correct it, man. Don't beat around the bush and don't blame nobody else for it. You know what I'm saying? Just literally, that's how I stayed around so long. I have real gut checks with myself. I'm like, dang, bro, you could be doing this. You're supposed to be doing that. And I'll be actually talking back to myself like, dang, I know. I need to go do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's essential that you're honest with yourself. That way, once you're honest with yourself, nothing nobody can do can stop you.
Great advice. Great advice. And we're going to leave it with that. Yep.
Hey, man, what's happening? It's your boy, Mr. Hanky, super producer, checking in. And as you see, I'm in these streets, and you're tuning in to NDStreets. Say what?
Good morning. I am your substitute, Miss Banks, and I don't play that shit. All right, pass our papers to the front, please. Thank you.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Have y'all watched that one? Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Mr. Hanky. Hey, bitch done made me miss my pants. Bitch done made me miss my pants. See what you done made me do? Bitch done made me miss my pants. Hey, you got a big ass, your mama got a big ass you run big in your family. Bitch done made me miss my pants. Bitch done made me miss my pants. See what you done made me do? Bitch done made me miss my pants. Hey, you got a big ass, your mama got a big ass you run big in your family.
Bend it over, do a show for him. Like it when I throw it. Call me on Friday, we doing it my way. I'm throwing the pussy important. Nut on my neck and I know he a freak. We like to fuck and he like to record it. She steady calling, he pay no attention, cause I'm what he wants, so he look and ignore it. He got